Namaskar. Today let's talk about cueing skills. One of the questions I'm often asked are, what are cueing skills? When we're teaching yoga classes, these are communication skills, and they're related to our verbal communication. So there's a couple of ways to work it so that our communication comes across a little better, and some ways to do some exercises that will help us to communicate. One is by copying methods that you heard from past yoga teachers. It's always good after a class to take notes. Also, any instructions that you've heard through listening to videos, whether they be someone else's or mine. What you're doing is you're taking the best of whoever the speaker was and turning it into your own self. I don't want anyone to be a clone or a parrot, so it's one of those things where we want to create our own personality and teach in our own way. So this is very hard to do. At the beginning, what's going to happen is you're going to copy the method or the way that has impressed you the most. Then afterward, what's going to happen is you're going to grow, and you're going to actually inject your own personality into your speaking. Some people verbally repeat what they've read in a text, say it's direct, step-by-step, how to do Vastrika Pranayama, something like that. Or it could be an asana, it could be meditation. There's nothing wrong with that. After a while, you don't need to read or take notes or anything. You know the technique by heart, and what happens is, once again, you inject your own personality into your speaking. So you want to try these out with your friends and with anybody who wants to take some extra yoga classes with you, and you can experiment and you can decide where you go from there. I want you to understand something too. One of the ways to do it is to run a digital recorder, an audio recorder, or you could run a camera. And what you're doing is you're teaching a mock lesson, and you critique yourself objectively. Here's a good example. Once you play back your audio recording of your own voice, even if you don't see yourself in a television or something like that, what's going to happen is you're going to criticize yourself somewhat harshly. What we don't want to do is get it to the point where you indulge in harsh self-criticism. Instead, we want objective self-criticism. So this is not to beat yourself up, but it's to develop your style so you're better as you go and as you teach. No one's perfect at anything. So, I mean, if you talk to the best football player, the best baseball player, the best soccer player, the best golfer, they all make mistakes at their professions. Okay? And I just only compared now sports. Obviously, if you sat down with somebody like Barack Obama, he would be able to tell you plenty of mistakes that he's made already. And that isn't meant as a bad thing or as a good thing. None of us is perfect. So I've said this many times. We all know that since we are not perfect, all we try to do is do our best and get better. You want to evaluate how clear you are in your instructions. Are your directions easy to understand? Close your eyes and listen to your own cueing. Could you, if you were totally blind, follow your own directions? Another one that we have to finally realize is that these exercises, as far as listening and developing our own communication skills as we go, because we have to be good listeners in order to be good communicators too, these are just to fine-tune our ability to teach a yoga class. It's not anything that is a knock on ourselves as a person. So you want to just gradually overcome any weak points you find and have a good time. With that said, I'd like to wish you a nice week and have a wonderful day. Om Shanti.